The UK government has been dragged to court by Kenyans over colonial-era land grabs, mistreatment, and the overall human rights violations that happened in Kenya during the colonial era of the British. And over in Cameroon, Cameroon's health minister bans skin whitening products in Cameroon. So these are the topics we're going to be covering today, but we're going to be starting with the UK getting dragged to court by Kenyans, and I'm going to be reading from an article I have here. A group of Kenyans filed a case against the British government at the European Court of Human Rights on Tuesday, August 23rd, over what it said was colonial-era land theft, torture, and mistreatment. The Kenyans were seeking an investigation and redress for crimes they say were committed in Western Kenya's Kericho region, now one of the most important in the world for tea production. The UK government has ducked and dived and sadly avoided every possible avenue of redress. We have no choice but to proceed to court for our clients so that history can be righted, said lawyer Joel Kimutai-Bosek, who is representing the group. Britain's Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office did not immediately respond to a request for comment. It would be up to the court to quantify how much redress could be owed the victims, the legal team said. British redress for colonial-era crimes is rare but not unheard of. In 2013, Britain agreed on a multi-million-dollar compensation settlement for Kenyans tortured by colonial forces during an uprising at the tail end of the British Empire. The United Nations has said more than 500,000 Kenyans from the Kericho area suffered gross violations of human rights, including unlawful killings and displacement during British colonial rule, which ended in 1963. Many continue to suffer economic consequences from the theft of their land, the United Nations has said, even as that same land has become profitable for multinational companies. Today, some of the world's most prosperous tea companies like Unilever, Williamson Tea, Finlay's and Lipton occupy and farm these lands and continue to use them to generate considerable profits, the plaintiff said in a statement.
When Elizabeth Borowo recalled what happened nearly 70 years ago, the memories were clear and painful. She was a young woman at the time. British colonialists forced her and her family from their farmland here in Kericho County in Kenya.
Kicking us off our land and setting our houses on fire was painful. There was a lot of hunger. I remember my child almost drowned in the river as we ran away.
Ever since, she's lived on this small piece of land. The much larger, more fertile land that was once home can be seen on a distant hilltop. We went to have a look. Elizabeth says her husband planted this tree a few years before the eviction to demarcate their land and try and stop the colonialists from taking it. It didn't work. A plantation manager's house was built where she says her hut once stood, and the rest of their land became part of a tea plantation that today earns multinational companies millions of dollars every year.
Unilever, Williamson Tea, Finlay's and Lipton did not immediately respond to requests for comments. Kenya is the world's leading exporter of black tea by quantity, according to the International Trade Center. Big ups to Kenya. I'm so glad to hear that they are taking this very necessary step, taking action to make sure that they get the justice that they deserve. As a matter of fact, this is not the first time that the Kenyans have been trying to get their voices heard. They've been trying to reach to the UK government for a good while now, a very good while as a matter of fact. But the UK government has not been paying them attention. They've been turning a blind eye and closing their ears, not wanting to hear what the Kenyans have to say. Ducking and diving and just altogether avoiding the situation. I mean, it's no surprise. We know how colonial hoodlums, yes, I said it, that's what I call them, colonial hoodlums, because I hate to call them masters. That word just makes me very uncomfortable. Okay, we know how colonial hoodlums are. They hate to take accountability, want to act like all they did not happen. So of course they are trying to, avoid the situation, act like they don't know what we're talking about, feigning ignorance. And these people definitely know that if they pay attention to Kenya and address the issues that they are bringing forth, of course other former colonists are going to come out and say you're going to address our issues too. So definitely they are trying to avoid taking accountability and doing the right thing, right? Returning what needs to be returned. I mean, these are the same people that have our artifacts in museums, right? They can avoid the situation for as long as they want to avoid it. But there is one thing I know is that if you like, run from now till tomorrow, run to the end of the earth. A matter that needs to be addressed is definitely going to be addressed one day. Justice is definitely going to get served. These people would pay for their crimes. Whether they want to, whether they like it or not, they would pay. Reparation, they cannot run away from it. And I cannot wait for the whole continent of Africa to do the exact same thing. They're going to have to pay through their throats. If they're going to have to bleed dry to pay, they are going to bleed dry to pay. We do not care. As a matter of fact, all former colonists worldwide should follow suit and do the needful, because it's about time. Because these people got rich off our backs. They stole everything, literally. They were able to build generational wealth off our backs and our sufferings. And now onto the second story, Cameroon banning skin whitening products. Cameroon's Minister of Public Health, Mr. Manauda Malachi, banned skin whitening products in the country. The minister said in a statement that the importation, production, and distribution of cosmetic products containing 3 bleaching agents, hydroquinone and its derivatives, and corticosteroids, have been prohibited in the Central African nation. The minister last week suspended a drinkable skin whitening product that had become popular in the country, warning that substances contained in the drink could be poisonous. Products that are not regulated could cause skin cancer, skin irritation, or other health risks, he warned. The Central African nation has seen a rise in the number of people using skin whitening products in recent months, but medical experts and dermatologists have warned the practice can be potentially dangerous. This is a good news, a news we like to hear, because this skin whitening, skin bleaching issue is really getting out of hand, or has gotten out of hand as a matter of fact. It's a real palaver, I tell you, not only on the continent, of course, and worldwide, people are damaging their skin. And yeah, it needs to be addressed on a global scale, because man, and we're not going to be diving deep into why people whitening their skin, because we all know why people whiten their skin. The self-hate is real, and it's unfortunate. It's an unfortunate situation that we have to be dealing with this, wanting to be lighter. It's a real problem. It's a real problem that needs to be addressed. And big ups to Cameroon for taking this step. I mean, they're coming from a health perspective, but this is more than health, if we're being honest. I mean, they're coming from a health perspective, and of course, skin bleaching products are very bad for the health. But what they've done right here is killed 2 birds with 1 stone, because now they've addressed the issue of how it's bad for the health, but at the same time, they're going to force people to, love their skin, the skin they are born in. But unfortunately, not many people liked that he made this decision, because he has come out to say that he's getting threats for, banning skin whitening products. Reading from an article here quoting the Minister of Health, Mr. Manauda Malachi, says, "You can't imagine the number of phone calls and threats I've received since these press releases came out. People came to do business in an area that doesn't need it," he says. Skin bleaching products are popular across the African continent, as beauty standards often seen in the media or in advertising have pushed the narrative that a lighter skin tone is better or more acceptable. Minister Manauda Malachi banned the sale of skin bleaching products from 5 companies in August. Malachi says he is not against the companies making money, but their products must not cause harm. He went further to say it is not forbidden to make money, but we must not make money with public health in mind as the objective. One of the owners of the 5 companies works in the government, the office of Noreen Fort Singh, who is an MP for the Lotro region, responded after Malachi's interview on local Naja TV. "These products are not harmful. they are beauty drinks. Of course they would say this. I mean, this is something that they all say. You know, I have seen a lot of documentaries from, you know, Asia and here on the continent as regards to skin bleaching or skin whitening, and they all say the same thing. There's nothing wrong with the product, it's safe, you know, it's just for beauty. There is nothing wrong with being lighter. If anyone wants to be lighter, they have the right. You know, it's the same narrative. But let's get back to the article. Today we have 124 samples of these products which are in the Cameroonian laboratories. In a few days, the Cameroonian laboratories will decide according to her office. Food Singh is the owner of beauty company Norishka. Currently, there are more than 5 companies on the Cameroonian market selling skin whitening products. So guys, this is the update from the continent of Africa. A lot is happening on the continent, you know, different countries coming out and making big decisions, and I'm here for it all. I must tell you personally, I'm happy with the decisions we've been making recently, and if we can please put Cameroon's health minister in our prayers, that would be nice, because he does really need our prayers. His life is at risk. You know, these companies will be willing to do anything to secure their bags, so please let's put our dear Cameroon health minister in our prayers. I hope he is safe and protected at all time, because man, he did attack their pockets here for good reason, but you know how the world works. It's dangerous, it's crazy out here. So yeah, I just want to bring this to you guys. Let me know down below in the comment section what you think, and as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Have a very lovely day. Bye.